Hello, my lovely people. Welcome back to another episode of Property Chat with Lucy, where real estate meets real talk. Today's episode has come from a point of a lot of people asking me, how do you balance your family life, your career, and you still maintain it all? And with me on set just to discuss all this, I thought of bringing two of my good friends. We are in this crazy career. We have Kariuki, we have none other than my resident lawyer as well. And I'll let them introduce themselves to the new listeners and viewers on my podcast. Where real estate meets real talk. I'm your host, Lucy, and I want to take you through a journey of the basics of real estate, unfair, at times traumatizing stories in real estate. You're gonna meet industry experts here, and also I'm gonna share with you market trends on real estate, so you don't want to miss out on this. So look forward to an amazing time with me as I get you into my world of real estate. Every episode I intend to educate you, inform and inspire you, so stay tuned to this.
My name is Kariuki, and I'm glad to be here. I'm a registered valuer, a registered estate agent. I represent the Royal Association of Chartered Surveyors in Sub-Saharan Africa. Today we're talking about work-life balance. So yes, I'm a husband, I am a father, and I'm a Christian. I am a lot of things that really excite me. So I'm happy to be here.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
It's so hard to follow after, can you?
Why?
Because of the way he's layered everything. Thank you for having me again.
Again.
And it's nice
We are
to be
meant
on set with
we are
you.
meant to be here.
You know, we should just say we're meant for each other.
I almost said that though.
My name is Mimi Aljane. Amulioto is a family name, but it's for my siblings. I am a managing partner at Amulioto and Company Advocates here in Nairobi. I am an advocate commissioner for Oaths and Notary Public. I'm currently finalizing my LLM in air and space law. I am a people's person. Kama mimi ni wako, weke comment kwa comment section. You like this video, subscribe and share, just so that we know I belong to you. And I am a mom to many. We will get.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
And I'm born again. Very important. Roger is about following Kariuki is hard,
Yes.
because now you have to remember all the stuff he said. I'm born again and I serve God.
Oh wow. Maybe just to reintroduce myself
Ooh.
with this family career balance.
Wow.
I am a mom. I think that's the greatest thing that I'm really proud of
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah.
I am a mom of two amazing boys.
Oh.
I'm a realtor, a wife, a daughter, and I'm a Christian as well. I love God.
Amen.
Yeah. Now let's talk about our crazy lives in our we have very demanding careers.
Yeah.
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 And maybe just to bring the nutshell of how crazy our lives are, maybe you could tell me most of the challenging things you've had to find yourself balancing your life as a person,
Yes, yes.
and your career.
I think maybe when I said I'm a husband, I did not mention that my wife is away studying.
Wow.
Yeah, and when I said I'm a father, I did not mention it is a father to three boys.
Wow.
So,
I totally understand the three boys. Yes.
Yes. So one of the things, like on the parenting aspect, is that it is important. It is more important that my boys see me more than I see them. Yes, because I can be getting out of the house at 5 and coming back at 10. I can see them, but they can't see me.
Oh.
Yeah. So meaning that now I have to structure my life such that they are able to see me, if possible, every day. Yes. Of course, I don't manage that they see me every day, but I try. Yeah.
You do what's best.
Yes.
Yeah.
To ensure that they get to see me. And when I'm home, when I'm with them, I'm actually with them. I will go play football with them. We'll watch news with them. We'll do boy stuff. Fix their bikes, just over the weekend, go to the village and, just do stuff. Wear gumboots and just do boy stuff.
So you're saying you try to be present in their lives than the way you view best for yourself.
Yes.
All right. Mimi?
Yeah. When I said my mom to many, I think there's a time I told my mom to 7.
Yes.
And then I have many other friends whose kids are also my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So the hardest, I think, for me is being able to have time enough for the 7 and then for the others. Because the age range varies. I won't drop the age because the older ones will catch a feeling. But hi, Michelle. Like, subscribe, share. And being able to spend enough time with them when you're busy is hard. And the guilt. There's that guilt of not being present as much as you want, of not being able to provide. I think the scariest thing is when I feel I've not made enough money. And I know they need stuff.
Something,
And I know they want stuff, because then when you get into this other phase of life, you learn the difference between their needs and their wants. And you want to be able to provide those needs and those wants. And then when you're not present, you can't discipline something later. So you're picking up on some habits. Like the other time I was told, okay, by a 6-year-old.
Wow.
And I was just like, do I beat this? Do I complain and do I pray about it? Because I've not been there, and I've been told this is something she's been doing for some time. And it's so painful to see and even hear your mom saying, your attitude ni yako. So you're just there like, I wish I had more time in my day, but I'm busy chasing the money to be able to cater to the needs and the wants.
Yeah.
You know, the guilt of going into a supermarket and you went in for something and you see kids' clothes and your life, your mind completely changes. And I think that's finding that time to be able to be there, just what he said, is so difficult. And then you get time with them and a client calls. And then they're in the background, like, who is that on their phone? And you don't want to tell them it's work because you're there with them.
They even know the words like clients at a very young age, because you're always on phone, and they'll ask, who is that? You're like, it's a client. And they know, is that another client?
I'm asked, are you making money?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's one who asks, are you making money? Because if you're not making money, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think we all share one thing in common, that we have demanding careers that really put us in a mental constraint of finding a good balance in terms of time. Because also I struggle with time. And every time I sit down, I question myself, am I giving them enough of myself? Because soon I've had this thing from older people, enjoy them now.
Right.
They're really chasing you. Soon, they'll not be chasing you.
Yeah.
You'll be chasing them.
Yeah.
So this is the time you need to... now, the next question would be, the reality of our career demands. I know you're in the law space.
Yeah.
You're also in our space, especially now, everybody, like, you're running your own show. You're managing your own time. What are some of the crazy demands that at times you find yourself balancing out? What do I do? Do I give them, by your initial, like what we're seeing here, we all want to be with our families, but then we also need to provide at times, which I'll come to after as we move down. So the crazy demands, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you even question, what the hell did I get myself into? Real estate, or in law?
Yeah. I remember earlier in my career when I used to work for an employer who would send me to so many different parts of this country and send me for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks continuous. Of course, there was an allowance, so there was some money. So there's a motivation to go. However, I would feel this is 3 weeks that I will not get back. I mean, my children will not see me for the 3 weeks. My wife will not see me for the 3 weeks. So what we started doing is, if there was a weekend between, say it's 2 weeks, so there's a weekend, then I would send fare. I would send my wife fare. Then she
Okay.
yeah, so she would come to Kisumu, to Mombasa, wherever I am, and would get to spend that weekend, because we're not working on weekends, but ideally we are supposed to be in that city or in that town. So whenever possible, I would be able to do that. And then later now, I've realized that what has changed is the amount of fare. But I'm still sending fare. And so now that she's away studying abroad, so I send fare so that we meet in another country.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and we do a vacation there. And I know that I have to be very intentional about spending time with her. And for me, it is, I'm investing in my marriage. Yes. So I'm putting and I'm depositing into that love bank. Yes. I do not want it to run dry. Yes. So that's how I'm, even at this phase of my life, I'm trying to balance, especially to ensure that the marriage still remains. And for the kids, I'm happy that I work from home, so they get to see me almost every day, but I also get to really travel and have meetings outside home and outside the country. But whenever I am present, I am actually present. Yes, and what I have been taught by my older men in my life, my mentors, is that the most important, as you're saying, that it is this time that they are all around us chasing.
Yes.
That it is important to leave something in them, not mostly for them, but in them.
In them.
And in them, I think one of the biggest.
That's a take home. We leave something in them.
Yes.
Not for them.
Yes. Yes. So, and the biggest present that I can give them is my presence. Yeah, because I can say that I'm out here making money so that I can buy them presents. But my presence is what they need, because at this point, I'm helping to mold them. And even the Bible says, bring up a child in the way he should go. Learn his old, not depart from it. So I'm instilling those disciplines, the values, the correct DNA for them to be able to survive in this world. So it is important that I do not substitute my presence with presence. Let me be there. Yes, to the best that I can, because again, there is also that balance where I still need to work, but to the best of my ability, I want to be there. In fact, one of the things that I've done is when I have like one day in a week, which is mostly my Thursdays, when I'm free to meet with anyone else in the evening. But the rest of the days, I try to be with them, whether we are doing, and we are playing football, so because at this point I'm their present parent. Yes. So let me be very present. So as I do double duty, and as
you're both. I love that for you. I think for me, it's pressure. About this thing, my husband always tells you carry work, like you're working from home. Why are you working from home? It thinks you need to have a clear, and sorry, babe, I'm just saying this. It thinks I need to have a clear boundary between work and home, which, being a woman, I find it so hard to define that with the nature of our business, where especially if you're dealing with clients and they need, like, if I say the market that I deal in, most of the clients are free in the evenings. And that's the time you'll see a phone call. You really don't want to say, I will call later. Real estate calls at times wait for no one. Could be a client who is ready to engage. So I really, till today, it's something that it's a work in progress. And then I remember I was telling you, I don't want an office, like a home office. And then I realized I want to be present there, and I want my kids to see me as well. Until when was it? This last 2 days where we're doing this, they can feel the absence. As Mommy, you're going to work. Why don't you work from here? Like they know, and I find it was very prudent for just to have this conversation,
Right.
Because we're helping each other. What strategies do you have to create work-life balance? Like, probably we could share and just see how we can help each other.
I'd say communication and time, because you said a lot of what's really important, and kudos to you for being one of the husbands who actually cares. Let's be honest. I mean, I'm a divorce lawyer, so I know. I know there are many who don't care. But it's communication and making intentional time. Because people make time for what matters to them. And being with somebody who is professionally inclined will guide the way you guys understand each other with regard to your professional lives. Because there are times like I want to be able to talk to him about stuff, and because we're in the same profession, I'm not saying people should start Googling, but because we're in the same profession, what tends to happen is we understand the whole aspect of sometimes there's an email that just has to go out. There's client feedback that has to be done within a certain period of time. And then for me, because I serve God and I do ministry, there's a lot of prayers that we do from 9:30 to 10:30. So imagine I'm getting home to rush to be able to make the prayers. So I'm done with my day at like 11. And by that time, if you've not had all the conversations you need to have, then there's going to be a lapse in that kind of, setup. And then also where children are concerned, you want to be able to give them time without like being an overbearing parent. I was with a friend of mine on Saturday, and she was with her kids, and she's also an advocate. And we were discussing that same issue about time, because she had to force her now Gen Zs to hang out. Like, we need to hang out. And if you have Gen Zs like I do as well, I looked at you and I was almost laughing when you said you have to start looking for them. Because let me tell you, if they don't want to be around you, it's not personal. It's just because they are busy. In fact, they have busier schedules. So you have to be in the itinerary for the week. And sometimes it's the itinerary for the month. And the love is not lost. It's not that they're not interested. They're just trying to build themselves and do their own thing. And I had to be like, listen, I'm looking for you. I want to hang out with you. I've already I got you a gift. And the gift is not to buy their time. It is an acknowledgement of something they've achieved, even without you telling them. So it means I'm looking out for you. I've noticed that you achieved something. I've not forgotten your birthday. I've not forgotten this is the anniversary of the person you're probably dating. There are things that now I've had to be intentional, because if I'm so busy at work, then there are things you'll slip up on. For the little ones, swimming gala, I am there. Prize giving, I am shouting at the front like that shameless, the moms and the aunties and the ones and the grandmas who are at the front. I'm among them, being able to, like you said, time is the biggest investment. Communication is the biggest investment. And my friend Sadia and I were saying about not being the parents our parents were to us. We were raised in a generation of, the harshness and kuchapwa kwanza. With this generation, you can't do that. You have to communicate your displeasure. You have to communicate what you need them to do. You have to lead by example, which is really another situation altogether when you're busy all the time. Because all they're seeing is your back. They're not seeing your face. They keep seeing you leaving. They keep seeing your taillights. When are they seeing your face? When are they hearing your voice? And not on phone and not on video calls. They need to have quality, even if it's 10 minutes, it's quality time, not me telling you how my day was, but me hearing from you how your day was. Listening to those songs, I know how tiring it is. You know, when you have younger kids, they will sing and sing. I have an 8-year-old, she will sing and dance, singing for Jesus, twirling for Jesus, clapping for Jesus. And imagine I'm tired, jumping for Jesus. I'm still tired. And now we move to, drawing for Jesus. You know, she's making it up as she goes. But I'm tired. And the other one comes and she wants to also talk to me about something or roll her eyes, whatever comes first.
Yeah.
And then the 4-year-old wants to just jumble something that I won't understand. And I have to make time because that's what it is. You have to balance. They can't just always hear how tired you are. They can't always just see the laptop coming on. Can we work together? That's something else that I learned to do. So we will all set up. I will ask, what are you doing? Look, I'm typing. You know, things like that.
Yeah. I think from what you're talking about is prioritizing ruthlessly. You know, where it's an unnegotiable boundary.
Yes.
Time blocking.
Yes.
And you put your mind into it. Now, there's something I've also and probably we are all in the millennium. We were raised as girls. We were raised to be there for our husbands.
Wow.
You know, if you cook badly, you're told that's how you'll cook for your husband. So our mentality has been tuned in to provide and do good for the other party.
Right.
But now we're in a modern space, right? And I always get this mom guilt. Probably, Kariuki, you'll help us unlock this, because as career women, we are kind of working equally like men. You get home, the non-monetary contributions you're talking about, or in the matrimonial episode, you are expected to also meet those obligations. You still have a demanding job. Now, what would be your advice to the millennials who are married to career women who are in this demanding jobs? Yes.
You know, it is complex because I think the marriage institution, as Mimi has said, communication is very important. So let me look at it in two ways. One, in a marriage setup where there is husband and wife both are working, then in my opinion, there needs to be one who is moving slower than the other. And it doesn't have to be the lady moving slower or the man moving faster.
Yes.
Because I think life is about seasons. For example, my wife, we met at the university and we got married, and then she resigned.
I used to admire your relationship. For just clarity here, we used to be in the same uni, and this used to be our idol couple.
Oh, goals, eh?
Yeah, goals. Hey! Shiru, just know we are talking about you.
Yeah, so we agreed that she resigns. She slows down so that we were able to get children, because her career was busy. Mine was busier.
Wow.
Yes. So, I mean, I've traveled this country. I have been to maybe 90% of this country. So, and at times I was even doing like 6 weeks, and then I come home for 1 week. So surely, if she's also having a crazy life like that, who is going to raise the children?
Right.
Yeah. So she slowed down, but I did not squander that time. So I made sure that I got my professional qualifications. I did everything that needed to be done.
Yeah.
But it also meant that we went a bit slower on our financial goals, because again, now there's one income, and then later now she started a business, so now we had 2 incomes. But the whole idea at that point was we needed to bring up, to get children and to bring them up with the present parent, and I was not present. because of the career, because of my career.
Right.
Then later, when the kids are now much older, so we got to that phase where we again, communication. We discussed. Now, I think I want to slow down. So, what would you want to do? So she said she wants to do her master's. I was like, okay, let me support you. Yeah. So I have slowed down, and now she has picked up the pace.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I think marriage is supposed to complement each other, not compete.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, if in the event that it is not a marriage that is working, or there's no marriage, so that a single mother with children, a single father with children, then the question is very different, because now this one parent has to do double duties. Yeah. So at that point, now you need to slow down on maybe hobbies and things like that, so that the extra time that you have, instead of spending it at playing golf with your boys, and if you still have to play golf, then play golf with your children together with your boys. Yeah. So that you're not missing out. And if it's the lady, and maybe it's a lady with boys, then and engage them. If like what you're saying about the swimming galas and things like that. So if they want to go for football practice, create time for that. And if that means that you wake up at 4 a.m. so that you put in a few hours of work before you take them, and then you put in some more hours, whatever it's to be done. But the children will remember that you were present or that you were absent.
Yeah.
Yes. So try as much as possible to be present. But I do not think there's one answer that fits all.
There isn't, which is very but the society has this huge burden of expectation on women. You're busy chasing paper, and you really, ideally, yes, we are, but then also, I always have this thing, we went to school. The only thing you just need to do is now look for your balance, what really works for you, which takes me to, how do you set boundaries?
You read my mind.
Yeah. How do you set boundaries to know? Because over and above communication, we are in tuned to just go an extra mile.
Yeah.
If Shiru was around, as much as, because I did my master's and I was pregnant and I was still working. Those are so many hats at the same time.
Right.
Quite involving, quite, let me just say it was the toughest time of my life. But that element of, I'm a strong person. At times, I always say, I don't want to be strong anymore.
Yeah.
I just want that soft, Lucy back, or that. But then you realize you're running a business. You have kids, And as you say, marriage is not for the soft-hearted. It's not.
Actually, talking of that, I think what is important, in my opinion, with this whole conversation is about how much is enough.
Yeah.
Because, for example, for you, when running the business, you can decide that there are some roles, there are some certain tasks in the business that I will not do. Or that I will get a partner, or I will outsource. So that if that can buy you back some time.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, for example, an easy one, maybe basic accounting. So instead of being the one balancing the books,
Yeah.
hire someone, or there's a software that can do that.
Delegation.
Delegation.
Yes.
And it is coming from the point where you know how much is enough. Yes. Or you have an idea that if for example I made X more, a certain amount of money more, would that change your life? And if your life will still be the same, then can you, because there's some things that money cannot buy.
Sure. That's so true.
Yes.
True.
So I would rather that you are delegating, and instead of making X, you make X minus Y, but because you paid Y, you are left with time to do the things that money cannot buy.
Wow.
Yeah. So I feel that the conversation here is one about deciding how much is enough, and two about knowing times and seasons. Yeah. Because if we are aware that, if you are aware that this is a season that I'm in,
Yes.
right now I know I'm at that season where my wife is away and my children need to see me every day because they don't have another present parent.
Yeah.
I am very aware of this season. And it is important that each of us is aware of the season that you are in, so that you, as our kid, you will try turn down or certain instructions, because you know this is the kind that will require me to be away in another town for 3 months or 6 months. For example, in your real estate business, if for example you were given, there was an opportunity to tender for maybe property management thing in Lamu, for example, and and part of the expectation is that you're going to be spending 20 days in a month.
In Lamu.
Yes, and the client expects you to be there. Not that you send someone.
Yeah.
You know, you can say the season that I am in, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the money is good.
But
However, I do not want to be away.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but you're also very conscious of the fact that it is for a season, and you can even tell that client, if you're pre-qualifying every 5 years, let's talk.
in 5 years.
The next pre-qualification, yes, let someone else go do that one. Because you have a certain level of clarity, and you are running your own race. There's a Kikuyu saying that it is not built like your age mates. You are built like your age.
Yes.
So and I think in English it is you cut your coat according to your cloth or something like that.
Yeah.
That you know you are running your race. It is not anyone else's race. So it is okay if it means that I do not have 2 cars, that we have 1 car and we are sharing a car, or that we are going for our vacations in Shags and not in Mombasa or Dubai. Yes, but you know that these are the choices, and
They make it.
yes, and and we are ready to pay the consequences.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've talked about delegation, and in that mindset, we are all struggling with time,
Right.
with family, and time for your career. How have you created support system?
Knowing, I like when you said seasons, because particularly this year I was praying about who is around me, and I made a dangerous prayer. I said, God, remove my Thomas, my Peter, and my Judas, because I want to remain with my Mary. I want to remain with loyal people who are supportive of the direction that God is taking me. And that
great.
took me to a very deep discovery of who exactly is around me, and that my God is not a God of numbers. So I don't need 10. I just need 3 who are pushing me in the direction that I need to go to, who are fighting for me even when I don't know I need to be fought for, who are holding my hand when I'm tired, who are kicking me when I need to be kicked, and who are reminding me who I am in God's eyes. It's a very strong sentiment, because this is the year, my man also told me, this is the year nataka uomoke. You've been playing Ligindobo.
Small.
I want you this year to explode and become this big thing. And he even told me the plan of how he feels I should get to this level and this level and this level. And then even said, 2020 something, I want you. 2020 something, I want to get there. So I need you to start positioning yourself. And it was out of his mouth. He spoke things that were not as though they were, because here we are, because he mentioned podcast. He mentioned certain things. And I'm telling you, the Bible says that Isaac spoke into his wife Rebecca's, barrenness. And in her womb were twin nations. And so there's an importance of a man leading you to the place where God wants you to be. You make the right choice and God drives the bus. Just choose the right bus and
Please
God will take
listen
you
to
there.
that.
And when I made that prayer, not only did he say that, but then also the wrong friends began to fall away. And I'm telling you, same Bible says he cuts off the branches that are not bearing fruit. And I actually preached about it, and I said, I am so happy some people have fallen off, because I didn't know how strong I was until they did. And strength is not measured by just how much nonsense you can take. Strength is measured by how far you can go.
Yeah.
So if you have the right support system, then they remind you, delegate. You don't have to do this. Or let me take this on for you. A Simon of Cyrene kind of thing. For a season, I'm going to carry this burden for you. And then after this season, I know you'll have figured out what to do with what is in front of you. For this season, you need to rebrand, So I was laughing with Lucy and I was telling her, we've rebranded the farm. And then she's like, I'm also rebranding. What a season. Because then you get to know I'm working with the right people.
Yeah.
So if there's an issue in my home, I know who to run to. It's that circle that God has brought into you. And that circle is not going to tell you you're right all the time. They're going to tell you you're wrong. You need to pull up your socks. You need people to tell you you're not cooking. You're not cleaning.
Yeah.
You're not dressing up properly. You need to do better. You're not reading enough. You're not getting enough money. You're not getting enough clients. I know your potential. When someone drops the word potential, they care about you.
Yeah.
If someone just keeps telling you about the material things, they're not concerned about your children. You have people around you are never concerned about how your business is doing, and they're never concerned about your kids. They only want to hear the data about your marriage. Yeah. Because what they want to do is pull out the sorrow so that you're stuck in a rut and you're not able to be productive anymore professionally, in your relationships with people, in your relationships with your parents even, in your relationship with your spouse. They're not concerned. So when those things start to fall away, then you're also able to listen to a difficult conversation with your spouse about respect of boundaries. Who can you meet with and at what time? Painful discussion. Because I'm feeling I'm an adult. I can meet with whoever I want. You need to trust that I'm making the right decisions. But there's something someone else always sees that you can't see. That in the long run, it may not be a year from now, but in the long run, this client is going to start misbehaving, or this person is going to start misbehaving.
Yeah.
And they're almost always right. That's a fact.
That's true.
So when we learned to respect boundaries, babe, I hope you're paying attention. There's the aspect of, because men, as we tell you guys, you don't listen.
Yeah.
But that's where, what she said about women having to submit,
Yes.
to listen to those instructions, quickly. It's important when we learn, listen, this particular lady, when you're hanging out with her, whatever meeting you're having, it's in public, right? Because if you're in a restaurant that where 2 or 3 are gathered, then you see there's a lot of room for the Holy Spirit to be left at the door.
Yeah.
But when there are 20 or more, like the room where the apostles were, then the Holy Spirit can be present. You get?
Yeah.
And when you use biblical analogies, it actually breathes life into that situation, in the sense that, listen, I'm not trying to chunga what you're doing, but this is what's going to safeguard what we have and where we are going. As individuals, as professionals, as parents, as people, as daughters and sons, that's where we are headed. And what are we inspiring in the next generation that we can mess up and just dust off and get up again? How many times will you fall before you realize you don't have to fall that many times? Are we inspiring them to learn that hard work pays, but making time counts? You know, that being present matters, that being intelligent. A brother of mine, Mwangi, says to me, being a stupid lawyer does not pay. And being a poor lawyer is even worse. And I'll send you this link when it's out, because it's true. But then again, he's one of the guys who always remind me scripture. This is what the Bible says. You're supposed to take care of yourself. You're supposed to take care of your home. You're supposed to build your knowledge base. You're supposed to be wise. You're supposed to be prayerful. So all of that encompass the kind of person you're supposed to be and how you balance out your time.
Yeah.
If you lack discernment, then wisdom won't matter.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, you're just talking. I was even like so pressured to just,
Like, hey, yo, taking notes.
you just... Me and Mimi,
Yeah.
I think we are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
That has been my prayer. Just cut people who are not going to add to my vision.
Flower girls of your
know?
season.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we are looking at getting a support system that aligns, that understands your season, that is not people who are not going to drag you behind, people who are going to push you, genuinely be there for you, and genuinely support you positively, and they want the best out of you.
Yeah.
Right? And, she's just talking, I was just confirming, God,
Yeah, no more
we've not
transactions,
shared
friend.
that,
Yeah.
but we're in the same season. And with that, I want to bring on the element of, you've talked about celebrating wins, even with the kids, just celebrating them. How do you celebrate your small wins? Because I feel like one of the things that you sit down and say, okay, fine, you are very happy with your family life, you're very happy with your career life. In those two elements, there are those moments you feel like, here, God has been in it. So how do you celebrate yourself?
Oh, like, clapping for myself.
Yes.
I don't care how people clap for themselves.
I buy myself a bag, a pair of shoes.
Yes.
Let me tell you, I win a case, I'm there ordering something for myself. Because I realize if I wait for other people to clap, I will wait a long time. I'll grow old waiting. And wrinkles and that's an Abraham Sarah moment. I'm waiting until I'm 90 to get wrinkles. But then, I'll treat myself to something nice. Maturity has taught me to just clap for myself that way. Take yourself for a dinner date. I learned actually because of rejection and betrayal by people, I learned to take myself for dinner, take myself shopping.
Kariuki.
Like you are your best. You are your.
How do you do that?
Yeah,
How do you go to a hotel? Is that
I'll teach you. Then I leave you there. I'll take you. Then I leave you there. Let me tell you, when you learn to have.
do that for you so
we
you
have to-
understand
Let me
what
tell
you
you,
mean.
it is so calming when you don't have to pay someone else's bill. Let me tell you, I used to be misused by your friends. If you're watching this and you catch a feeling, it's you I'm talking about. And it's because they just go, you know this, you're a chick, you know this. You go out with a couple of people, you want to celebrate a win you've had. You landed a big client. Even landing a client is a blessing from God, right? Clap for God and clap for yourself. And then your friends still expect you, who's won, to pay everyone's bill, but the food went into your stomach. Like for real, see, you're working. So you even pay for the water you've consumed, right? And if it becomes a habit, then you learn to withdraw and celebrate your win yourself. I would even get a cake, at Dusit, Princess, Nairobi. And it will be placed before me and it has my name on it. And I'm just clapping for myself for something that's happened. And sometimes people ask me, hey, unakula peke yako? It's because sometimes you're just tired of the nonsense. And you just want a piece of peace and a piece of joy. That's how you clap for yourself. Because you're able to even list down your honest, there are things I can't tell Lucy, right? But I can tell myself. And I'll list them down. I walk around with a book and I list them down and I say, this is what I've achieved. It might be really small. I've gained weight. Let me tell you, for the little girls who are struggling to gain weight, when I gained 5 kgs, I clapped for myself. I bought myself 2 slices of cake to gain more weight because it's what I wanted to do. For those who are in a journey of weight loss, when you lose weight, clap for yourself, buy yourself a salad because you're entitled to No, you're gaining, you're losing. You're doing reverse.
Yeah.
Because you want to celebrate yourself for the things that there's some people who, in celebrating you, they might get it wrong.
Yeah.
They get you the thing that you don't need, and it's the thing you're pulling away from. Like, I'm celebrating you, your sobriety, but we're buying drinks. What's that? You see? And because I don't want to be, my spirit to be disturbed, let me celebrate myself, so that if you choose to do something, it's not me prompting you, because that's also another thing. I don't want to prompt anyone to do the thing that they should do freely. Yeah.
You're just talking, and I'm picking up. I think for me, I'll take it up as self-care. Yeah, I love taking myself to a nice spa date alone, where I just decompose, and I know literally those are the moments where you now look at these two boundaries. How are you doing? Are you spending too much time on your career without balancing off with family? It tends to give me moments where I sit down, reflect, and just enjoy the moment I'm in, forgetting about, because if you want to be there for your family, you have to be there for yourself first. Take care of yourself so you can pour out. So with that said, we are in a space where we're trying to balance out, and we have people who are so jealous of your journey. They're jealous of your union. They're jealous of where you're going. How do you deal with toxic people? And I'm not going to say family or friends. Let's just generalize people.
No, be realistic.
And let's be real here.
So,
Yeah, I know you're about to be diplomatic.
no.
Yeah.
But anyway, let us just say it as it is.
Yes.
I think what I've learned in the past few years is the sovereignty, that my family is a sovereign unit. That when I sit down with Shiro and we make our plans and we make our decisions and we commit them to God and decide this is the direction we need to go, then we take, as a leader of my family, I take full responsibility and I do not owe any other person
An explanation.
To my pay bill.
Yeah. I realized once you start
Third party.
Oh.
then it interferes with the sovereignty.
Right.
Yes. So you try to make a decision. You try to make one step and then someone introduces another aspect.
Right.
And so my friend would say that if you're not paying for it, then sure, what stake do you have here?
Yeah.
I'm married to an adult of sound mind.
Yes.
So you, who is not part of this sovereign unit,
Yes.
you need to either abide by what is this? So whether you, or whichever the party is jealous or whatever feelings they have, here they are. Sissy, as for me and my house. Really have the decision for me and my house. Yes. So the rest.
The reason why I had to throw that in, because that element tends to imbalance your family life with career times, because you might think you're walking the right path, but then someone maliciously, they're trying to pull you out.
Right.
If probably someone doesn't understand, I have kids that need me in the evening.
Right.
And then constantly you keep on calling me. It's good once in a while, but it shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
Because the entire day I'm in the office. In the evening, they need me.
Yeah.
And you see, that's where I always say common sense. If you not dating, if you, ideally you have a relationship with a fellow friend, no married, they need to understand your season.
Right.
Yeah? Because something small that you do, it imbalances things back at home that will affect work it will affect your mental health. And I always feel, for me, dealing with toxic people, I actually do therapy. Just the way we go to the gym for physical,
Yeah.
I actually go for therapy just to make sure, because I can tell if you're in for the right reasons. And if you're not, then I'll know how to deal with you
Yeah.
casually.
For me, I believe it's your constitutional right to be stupid. And so I do not interfere with the work of God in your stupidity. So I just block and delete.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I am known for blocking foolishness. I will not argue with you. I will explain to you why I think you're stupid, and then I'll block you. Because I don't have time for that. I'm trying to build my spirituality because it matters. What comes out of me is a result of what is already inside of me. And if you garbage in, garbage out. If I allow that garbage in, that is the same thing I'll reproduce in my household, in my office. You know, those bosses who just walk in and they're just blasting everybody. Those people who wake up in a bad mood, you know, it's because of the kind of things that you're being fed. Those messages you're receiving from people who are haters and everything, you know, they're on duty. Even Judas was on duty. So you just work, but work far away from me, you know?
But I always think that the people who hurt you most are very close to you, you know, and you really need to be smart to pick up
Right.
that bad seed. And just know, not everybody within your circle actually is in for the right intentions. Good. Any parting shots?
Trust nobody. That's
As
what was going to
always.
be my parting shot on your podcast. But also, and this time I'll add, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. It's Proverbs 3:5-6, but very important, because if you're putting your trust in your spouse, you might get it wrong. If you trust your kids, you might get it wrong. If you trust your job, you might get it wrong. If you trust God, everything else comes together, and it will work together for your good.
Yeah.
My parting shot is I also have a verse, ni venye sijui mahali iko. But godliness with contentment is great gain. It is in the New Testament. Yeah. So be godly and learn to be content. Run your race. Achana hizi pressure watu najiwekea huku za nini mingi. Godliness with contentment is great gain.
Yeah. As we conclude this, I would definitely have to say there's no clear balance between family life and your career. You need to look into what really matters to you. You prioritize on that, take care of yourself, be intentional, and put God in it. Thank you so much for listening in. If you have any tips on how you balance your career life and your family life, please feel free to share with us. This is a learning journey. We are learning every single day. And on that note, I would say a goodbye, and I'll see you in my next episode. Thank you so much for your insightful discussion.